I'm Vic Myers. Welcome to The Resistance. I believe in the Voting Rights Act. I think it was one of the most important protections ever passed for American democracy. When it comes to gerrymandering, I live in a state with a supposedly bipartisan redistricting commission, and yet I still live in gerrymandered districts at both the state and federal levels. Still, I am just as pissed off about the mid-decade gerrymandering that's going on as much as you are. My comments are filled with people calling for age limits and term limits. And I get why people see that as a solution, but realistically, Congress is never going to limit themselves like that. As for gerrymandering in the Voting Rights Act, we have to face the reality that this Supreme Court looks ready to turn both those fights into history lessons. No amount of outrage or complaining is going to change that. Before I became a sergeant in the 101st Airborne Division, I went to PLDC, Personnel Leadership Development Course. One of the first things they taught us is that leaders don't complain. Leaders identify problems and then find solutions. The complaints about the end of the Voting Rights Act and the gerrymandering may be valid, but they don't solve problems. Send me money, sign my petition. All these people are complaining about an identified problem, but none of them are offering real solutions, when the solution is right there in front of us. We just need to see it and embrace it. The solution is voting, not like we have before, but like we never have before. We need more people doing democracy. We the people are the term limits. We the people are the age limits. We the people are the nullifiers of gerrymandering. If we'll just show up, the system will work. When we don't show up, other people make the decisions for us. The parties fill the space that we leave empty. They decide who our serious candidates will be, flood the primaries with money, and then tell us who's electable. They use their power, and we don't use ours. That's how it happens in my own state. Karen Breslin is running as a Democrat against John Hickenlooper, but the party's already picked their side. They're propping up a 73-year-old incumbent and pretending that there's no real choice. That happens when we don't show up. And it's not just in Colorado. In Maine, Graham Plattner's building a movement. A young combat veteran. He's out there talking about the future. But the minute he started connecting with voters, the establishment, led by Chuck Schumer, jumped in to back a 77-year-old opponent. It's not democracy. That's protectionism. But there's hope. In Tennessee, Afton Bain wasn't the establishment pick. But people showed up, and she won her primary anyway. If they keep showing up, she'll win the general this December. That's what participation looks like. That's what democracy can do when we use it. Right now, the parties are driving the tractor while we're all sitting in the barn and expecting a bumper crop. I reckon that's why we don't have the kind of leaders that we need. Because leadership doesn't rise out of silence. It rises out of participation. Real leaders like Afton Bain, Graham Plattner, and Karen Breslin will start to stand up when there's more regular Main Street Americans standing up and telling them what it is that we need. If you know somebody who doesn't vote, then it's your civic responsibility to get them to vote. And if you're not a voter, then it's your civic responsibility to start voting, to be a part of the solution instead of a part of the problem. Thanks for listening. Good day.